What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to the Sports Sidebar Podcast. You're tuning in with your boy Rich, and I'm here with my buddies Tom and JD, and we're about to get this thing started. Let's go. Welcome everybody. Welcome back to another episode. How's everybody doing tonight?
Doing good, Rich. How you doing?
Doing fantastic, man. We got the NFL draft a few weeks away.
Yeah, starting to sound starting to heat up a little bit. Getting the mock draft 4.0 out from Kuiper.
Oh yeah.
Some last looks at people. We got Justin Fields tomorrow throwing for about 4 or 5 teams. Yeah, it's getting close, getting down to crunch time here.
Oh yeah, about 2.5 weeks away. Bunch of rumors circulating. They're talking about Dallas moving up to try to get Pitts. I don't think that's a great choice. I feel like they definitely need to go defense because they can't stop a nosebleed. And then everybody's still speculating about this 49ers pick, man. Everybody's think they're going quarterback from Alabama, but I don't think they're picking them.
Yeah, it sounds like it really depends on who you're looking at here. Some people are going Mac Jones, some people are saying Trey Lance, but I think that that's going to be an interesting domino to fall because that may change someone's idea of trading up to 4, maybe Atlanta dropping back, someone jumping up to get a quarterback that they want.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens after who they pick, and then pretty much that 4 to 10 in terms of people jumping in and out.
Yeah, and you hear today that the Patriots might want to try to jump up and grab Fields. So yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see what happens with San Francisco and if people are waiting for that, or if they know some. Is there inside information somewhere? Shanahan telling people who they're going after. Like his buddy over there, Bill Belichick. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Oh yeah, I don't think Fields will make it to 10 because I think other teams like the Broncos or somebody else trades up with Carolina and picks him before 10. I don't think he makes it to 10.
Yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of good players in the draft, so it really depends on how much they value these guys. I keep hearing that people want to trade up with Atlanta to get Pitts. Talking about the Dolphins potentially trying to move back up and other teams. So it sounds like Pitts is probably the first non-quarterback off the board right now.
Yeah, possibly that's what it's looking like. I'm hearing that same thing about the Dolphins, but I'm hearing that they're might be looking to move back, then move back up. It seems like they're just trying to stock, draft picks for these upcoming years.
Yeah, they can. I mean, they're already pretty stocked here for the next couple of years, but yeah, I'm kind of interested to see how this all plays out.
Pretty much getting ready for voluntary involuntary workouts. Looks like they're gonna have them over video, I guess. Looks like people still trying to get the vaccine. I mean, outside of that, your boy Edelman retired. How you feeling about that?
Yeah, it's probably what he needed to do, right? I mean, last year he only played a couple games, his knee was busted up. He's had some issues with the knee over the last few years. Yeah, I mean, he's had a great career considering where he came from, how he came into the league. Obviously I'm not a Patriot fan, but definitely respect for a guy like that. He gave it all every weekend or every Sunday, put his body in danger. I mean, everyone knows the video from Super Bowl against the Seahawks, when he got lit up and got back up and didn't know who they were playing, didn't really know where he was, but kept on going. So yeah, great career. I think it was the right time for him to hang him up.
Oh yeah, I thought he was just at first I heard he got cut. I thought he was gonna get cut to try to go to the Buccaneers to reunite with Tom Brady, but then the news came out that he retired. So I mean, it looks like he's pretty wrapping it up. I feel like they might have forced it too because it seemed like he was talking shit about Cam in the offseason. So maybe they didn't want that around. So and then there's all this talk about him trying to get into Hall of Fame. I don't think he's a Hall of Fame receiver to even get in. I don't think he's even close to getting in.
No, and this is a tough discussion. I feel like maybe more tough in football than any other sport because other wide receiver performance is heavily dependent on the quarterback, and he played with the best quarterback to ever live for for 12 seasons or 11 seasons. So
Mm-hmm.
it's difficult, right? So yeah, his stats aren't even anywhere near like a Hines Ward, who kind of played the same position, isn't in the Hall of Fame. But there's only, I feel like, I forget I heard today, for players that started their career after 1980, I think there's like 7 wide receivers in the Hall of Fame or something, like 7 or 8. So I mean, wide receivers in general, I feel like just don't really get into the Hall of Fame anymore, unless you're like Jerry Rice or Randy Moss or someone like that.
Yeah.
And Edelman's case is kind of tough because he was kind of he was like one of those glue guys, right? Too. So like, when you needed a catch on 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9, he was your go-to guy, but he wasn't like racking up the stats. But he was more of like he kind of kept everything together. So I think he was definitely valued highly in the Northeast, in New England.
Oh, yeah.
But I just don't, based on what's in the Hall of Fame now, I don't see any chance that he gets in.
Yeah, I think the next one to get in is probably Larry Fitzgerald. I don't see a lot of receivers with crazy stats like that anymore.
No.
To even be mentioned to get in the Hall of Fame.
No, there really isn't. And like I said, a guy like Hines Ward, I think, crushes Edelman's stats, and he's not in the Hall of Fame. So, if that's what they're going on, is those kind of raw stats and not valuing the playoff, stats as much, or the playoff wins as much, then I don't see a chance that he gets in. But I'm sure we'll be hearing the argument for the next few years.
Oh yeah, most definitely, because they're pretty much going off the fact that he has the Super Bowl MVP, and there's only like 2 other receivers with it, one being Jerry Rice. So I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see I think
Deion Branch has one too.
It was it Branch, yeah,
one.
Yeah. So I mean that's their
and Hines Ward. Yep, Deion Branch and Hines Ward back-to-back years.
Yeah, so I mean that's their case of for him trying to get into Hall of Fame, but I think he's only a lot more than that. I don't think his stats are even like in the middle of the pack as far as most yards of all time, stuff like that, receptions. But I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see. Maybe he makes the Hall of Fame for the team. How they like hang their jerseys, stuff like that. Maybe they him that way. I don't think he gets into the Hall of Fame. Then on to the NBA. We have some horrible news. Murray tore his ACL from Denver Nuggets, out for the rest of the season, just when they were started rolling too after the All-Star break. Man, looking like the Lakers going to take it, man.
It seems like everything falls their way, huh? Yeah. Denver's going into last night, probably one of the hottest teams in the league. I think they'd won 9 of 10, really moving up the Western Conference standings. Team looked like they're playing really well. And then Murray's been out the last few games and came back and had this painful injury, not only to himself but for the team. I mean, it's just such a kind of a downer having a young guy like that who I thought really excelled last year in that the bubble and the playoffs. I was kind of hoping to see him and Spider go after each other again.
Yeah.
But yeah, it sucks. It just sucks.
Oh yeah, definitely does. I mean, the bright side about it, hopefully this gives the opportunity for some of the other younger players to step up, like Porter Jr. Even hopefully maybe give some more playing time to Bol, your boy out there, just to see what else they have on their bench as far as young talent. So come next year, they because they're probably not going to be starting. If you think about it, he probably won't even come back till playoffs next year. This time. So I mean, that's going to give some opportunity for a lot of players to grow and step their game up. So when he comes back, he won't have such a heavy load as far as trying to score, and he can just ease into things.
Yep. Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're looking at maybe February he can come back. Maybe. Usually it's like in that 8 to 10 month range, especially for these guys who have to cut and plant and all that stuff. So yeah, unfortunate for him. So hopefully comes back stronger next year.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's probably we were talking about earlier. I think it was because of all the basketball he's been playing. I mean, they went deep in the playoffs last year. Well, not even last year, pretty much this year. And then they had pretty much went to 7 games, all their series except for the last one against the Lakers. So I mean, maybe that put a toll on him. And then now having such a short resting period as far as the off season, and then getting right back into it. Maybe some other teams start looking at this load management stuff more seriously to get some rest on their stars.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't know if you saw it today, but Luka was pretty upset about the play-in game. Talking about the play-in game yesterday, and how you fight all year to get into the playoffs, and then if you have a bad 2-game stretch, or some team gets hot for 2 games and you're out of the playoffs, which or you're not even in the playoffs, I guess, at that point. So he was kind of annoyed about that. And then you hear Mark Cuban come out today and say they kind of made a mistake trying to by adding the play-in game and compacting the schedule, and now guys are playing a lot more minutes and in a compressed time frame, and then now you're seeing injuries. So interesting comments from Cuban for sure. But he definitely he has his guys back, obviously.
Oh yeah, I think I guess the situation with KPP is he just can't stay healthy, to be honest.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they're regretting that trade. Well, but I mean, maybe I don't know. I feel like the playing tournament is great because the main thing about it is that they don't really want tanking. So I mean, if you have the playing game, it gives the opportunity from teams 7 to 10, to fight for a playoff position. It gives them something to fight for, because normally most teams at that point they'd be like, we're 4 games back, there's no point in us playing. We're not going to catch them, right? But if you're in within a certain amount of games, you actually get to have that play-in, and then you never know what can happen. But maybe they just did it more for the competitiveness. It also gives them extra playoff games, which is probably going to generate more money, to the NBA. But if you're one of those teams, I understand where Mark is coming from, but I mean, you really don't want to be in that 7 to 10 range. So, I mean, if your team does better, I mean, you don't have to worry about that. So, I mean, it's a double-edged sword.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, the downside is really, I mean, those lower seeds almost never win. So, yeah, I think, like I said, I see both sides of it. I like the idea of not having to tank, or, always, pretty much as long as you're not at the very bottom, you have a chance to make the playoffs. But I also see the other end where you don't want to be that 7 seed that gets bounced because you had a bad game or a bad game and a half.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And then I don't know if you saw the Lakers versus Brooklyn game. Kyrie and Dennis Schroeder went at it. They both got ejected from the game. I actually like the back and forth. Them going back and forth. I'm surprised the Lakers won, even though it looks like James Harden really does make a difference on that team.
Yeah, he really I don't know if it's sucked it up or swallowed his pride, and he's like a different person in Brooklyn.
Oh yeah,
and obviously something they needed, someone who can defer a little bit and can also score when they need him. But yeah, I think he's been great for them, and obviously a huge difference maker for that team.
Oh yeah, most definitely. It seems like the ball flows more when he's on the court. It seems like a lot is easier offensively when he has the ball, especially in the crunch time, because he's going to get doubled, and then either he's going to get doubled and somebody's going to get open for the open shot, or he's going to go one-on-one and either get to the free throw line or get that Euro step layup, or possibly that even step back 3.
Yeah, he's been great. I mean, and then they can afford to rest guys. Obviously, Harden's out right now, resting up the hamstring, but you got Durant back. He dropped 31 today. Joe Harris has been outstanding for that team. They're just top to bottom, they're loaded.
Oh yeah, they're going to be hard to stop. But their problem is, like we talked about before, they got to play defense.
Yeah.
And I think they're playing Philly tomorrow, and I know Philly's like the number 1 or number 2 defensive team in the league. So it's going to be interesting to see how they match up. But I don't know if Harden's going to be back for that game. But still.
No, I don't think he'll be back. But that Philly team is legit. They play some tough defense. I watched a couple of the games that they played last week, and they're all over it. They're on top of you. They're physical. So we'll see how well that Brooklyn holds up against them. Oh
yeah, your boy A-Rod, he's trying to buy the Timberwolves, man. You think the NBA lets him in?
Why wouldn't they?
I don't know, man. It seems like when another sports player gets in the mix to buy a team, that doesn't happen. I didn't even know that the owner had a deal with KG that he's supposed to sell him the team.
I had thought that that KG had always wanted some minority some minority ownership in there. I didn't kind of know the full deal, but yeah, he's always talked about going back into Minnesota and getting a piece of the ownership there.
I would have liked to see that. Being that the blood and sweat he put in there, the type of player he is, it'll be interesting to see what he does as a owner and how it's interesting to see when players go back to own some type of ownership role to see how they draft. Unfortunately, Michael Jordan has had the best record as far as drafting players, but some other players have had some success.
Yeah, and I think to KG's credit, I think he made that team relevant for years. It was kind of an awful franchise for a long time. So yeah, I think the track record on ex players is kind of seems to be hit or miss. There's been some good ones, obviously like a Jerry West or Elgin Baylor, and then you get and those are more in the kind of the GM type roles, and Danny Ainge.
Yep.
But yeah, Michael Jordan's he struggled, but it seems like he's maybe either he was either deferring before and now he's taken over, or vice versa, because it seems like they've drafted a lot better recently, getting some good young players down in Charlotte.
Yeah, I like what they're building down there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, speaking of young players, did you see your boy Tyrese Haliburton with these shoes, man?
No, I didn't see this.
Man, he had some Thrillers the other day. I don't know exactly what type of shoes they were, but they had like when they get the design art on them, he had the Michael Jackson Thriller on there, and then maybe a few weeks before he had the Tom and Jerry engraved in there. You gotta look it up, man. Those shoes look great. I know you and Tom are shoe heads. Those would be something you guys definitely want to put on your list.
I gotta see these. Oh yeah, look at that. Interesting. Yeah, I like him. Halliburton. Who would have thought? He had some funky shoes at Iowa State too. Surprised they let him play there.
The funky shoes, funky jump shot. But he plays good though.
He's getting the job done.
Yep. Then your boy Zion still going buck wild out here. Just manhandling people, getting to the rim.
He can't be stopped.
No.
It's actually kind of like, yeah, it's unbelievable. You look at those box scores, and he's just getting whatever he wants.
He's like 8 for 9, 7 for 10.
Yeah, they're kind of hanging out back there in that 10 seed. We talked about. I think that's where they are, right?
Yeah, I think because they won yesterday.
Oh, they're in the 11. They're right behind. 11. Yeah, right behind Golden State. Golden State dropped. One on that. Steph dropping 53 last night.
Yeah, not playing any games.
No. But yeah, no, Zion's been awesome. Kind of everything that he was cracked up to be, when he got drafted number 1 overall. Again, I think, we've talked about it before, but everyone was worried about the weight and the injuries, and he's he's been awesome this year. I mean, averaging almost 27 a game. Like we talked about his shooting stats. What is he shooting? He's like,
60%, something like that.
62% from the floor. So, he's super efficient, and gets to the hoop whatever he wants, gets whatever he wants. Against a good Philly team, he had 37 and 15. So he's been fun to watch. Everything that we wanted from him, I think.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully he doesn't resign with with the Pelicans after when his contract's up.
You're just hoping everyone's going to New York.
Man, you gotta have some hope, man. Don't get me wrong, we've been playing good this year. Right in the 8th spot right now, but we're definitely gonna have to play that playing game. But I mean, I want them to keep going in the upward direction. I don't want them to, have a good year, then a bad year, good year, bad year. Some kind of consistency. Even if let's say we just finish in the next 5 years, we're only in the 7-8 spot. I mean, that's some kind of consistency. We haven't made the playoffs consistently since maybe 2000. So I mean, that's a long drought.
Yeah, no, I get it.
And then on to the Masters. I mean, we had your boy
Hideki
Matsuyama take it in the Masters. He pretty much had it wrapped up after 16.
Yeah. I mean, so outside of that one hole where we got a little bit of excitement that that we would potentially have some drama down the last few holes. Matsuyama played solid for most of Sunday. I think he got overhyped a little bit because he really hit some he had a few really bad shots, and the drive on one, he smashed way right. It bounced off a tree, and it gave him a look at the green. He got out of there almost unscathed. He had a bogey to start, but not a huge deal. And then on what hole was it? Oh, on so he bogeyed 12. He came back a little bit, and then on 13T, smashed one way right again, and it kicked off a tree and into the rough. And then honestly, like that second shot he had, he pulled left, but got a good lie in the rough and was able to chip it to within a couple feet. But they were saying his ball striking was good. It was fine. I didn't think it was awesome. The problem was everyone kept falling back. Like, he had Will Zalatoris in his first Masters start. I thought he was great. Missing a few short putts, which you just can't do at Augusta if you want to be in contention. But yeah, on 15, saw Schauffele. Sorry, not Schauffele. Matsuyama knocks one into the water over the back. He kind of caught one hot. Maybe pulled it a little, kicked over the back into the back pond. And then Schauffele threw one, he was kind of blocked out, threw one in the bunker, made a great bunker shot. I thought it was going in. So he made birdie, 2-shot swing there. He's got all the momentum, Schauffele, 4 birdies in a row, and then he freaking chunks one into the water. Yep. Unfortunately, and I like Xander. I think he's got a nice swing. He's good, real good putter. He has a history of choking in kind of the big moment. I was texting with my buddy, and he's like, I said, Xander's our only hope to make this close. And he goes, the guy is gonna shit himself. He wasn't wrong, but yeah, it was good for Matsuyama. He's one of the better iron players on tour. A lot was talked about, him opening up golf to Japan. Japan, big time golf country. I think it's only second to the United States in number of courses in the country. People love playing golf there, so hopefully this will help grow the game there a little bit and get some more exposure to the PGA Tour. And good on Hideki.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how this affects the Japanese population as far as people wanting to play golf.
So I've worked for a few Japanese companies, and they really like golf. The problem is it's expensive, and it's really hard to get on courses just because there's so many people that want to play. Mm-hmm. So I don't know how you fix that. If there's a way to I don't know, but that's kind of the issue. So they got to get these they got to open it up for younger people to play earlier. Make it affordable and just find time for people to get on. Did you see that someone had what this will that green jacket, what it's worth to Hideki, and someone said it'll be worth $600 million to him, basically $20 million a year in endorsements over the next 30 years from Japanese companies.
I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, that was my next statement. Like, I wonder if this is like the Tiger effect for Japan, as far as, not to say he's going to keep winning, but to have now they have somebody to point to, as far as to say in the golf world, like, not, I won't say be like Mike, but kind of like a be like Mike, but the Japanese version.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully it can be. I mean, you saw it a little bit with Greg Norman. When he didn't win the Masters, but he was a good golfer, and that opened up I think a lot of golfers in that Australia, New Zealand area, right? I mean, you got Adam Scott, you got Cam Smith, who's a good young player, and hopefully it does the same. I mean, Hideki's the first Japanese player to win a major, so yeah, hopefully this kind of is lagging, right? So you won't see it for maybe 10 to 15 years, but hopefully you start to see that kind of pick up like it has on the LPGA Tour a little bit.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how much more global exposure golf gets because of this.
Yep.
And I mean, it's about that time again, man. It's about that time for the JD's bites and brews, man. What you got for us?
All right, so today we got a chili lime chicken with an avocado feta tomato salad on top. So what we did here is took a couple chicken breasts, marinated them in It was a lime juice, olive oil, garlic, cilantro, and then some spices. We had chili powder, cumin, onion powder, garlic powder, salt, pepper. Stirred that up, threw the chicken breast in, let it sit in the fridge for a few hours. While that was sitting in, marinating, made the salad. So the salad had feta, avocado, red onion, lime juice, cilantro. What else do we have in there? Garlic, and some spices. Mix that all together. Then, again, let that sit in the fridge for a bit. Throw the chicken on the grill. Go ahead.
How long you guys let it sit for?
I let it sit for 2 hours. It probably only needed about an hour or so.
Okay.
But I like, get the kind of get all the flavor, meshed in there. The salt, let the salt kind of marinate. The lime juice.
Mm-hmm.
And some avocado oil on top. That's what we did. Yeah. And then, so took out the chicken, threw it on the grill for 15, 20 minutes. Had a nice little char on it. Cut it up. Throw the avocado feta salad on top. Nice, refreshing, low-cal meal.
Oh, nice. You sound like you're getting ready you're getting your summer body ready.
It's trying, Rich. Just basically canceling out the beer that we drink.
So what beer did you drink this with?
So for this week, went deep into the fridge for this one. It was one I've had maybe for a couple months now. It's called Glamping. It's a peanut butter, chocolate, marshmallow, and graham cracker imperial stout. The brewery is Aslan. They're out of Herndon, Virginia. So I have a friend of mine that gets a hold of these. They're 15%, but they're delicious. Some of the best flavors I've ever had in any stout. They make a whole line of them. They're incredible. Usually in the wintertime, they release them, every other week or so. But yeah, it pours a deep dark black. It's surprisingly smooth for a 15% beer. You don't really notice the 15%, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
Good probably to sit outside right now in the evening at a fire or something like that. Just really good, delicious.
Yeah, sounds like you can't have too many of those.
Yeah, no,
15%.
you can maybe split. I'd say you could probably have one whole can. Usually, we do is just split up a couple different styles, so you can try a few different ones and not have to drink 15%ers because you're probably not getting up from that.
That's like six. That's like six to 9.
What's that? Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So, but yeah, it's good sitting around the fire beer. Not overly sweet. Really good.
Oh yeah, that sounds like one of those beers that after you drink it, you stand in for the rest of the night.
You can, yeah. It's usually a good nightcap, or like you said, just not going anywhere. So park it.
Oh yeah, and that's JD's Brights and Booze. And then this week, still going through some shows. I did finish Them. It's a new show on Amazon Prime. It's kind of like Get Out-ish. But it's about a black family that moves to East Compton in the 1950s. So they're pretty much like the only black people in the town. And then they're being like haunted by the white people in the town, and then some other kind of devilish spirit. But it's kind of I'm gonna say it's kind of weird in a way. It seems like they might have taken some of the racial stuff too far. As far as what they show, some of it's like kind of cringe. When you watch something that's like
Yeah.
it makes you feel like
you don't even want to watch it. Like
watch
you
it.
just turn your head.
Well, yeah, I mean not like gruesome wise, but like
No, I know what you mean. Uncomfortable.
well, yeah. But it was I mean if I had to rate it, I'd probably give it a 5.5 or like a 5. No, I'd probably say a 5.8. Some of it like it wasn't really like it started off good though, but then it just took a like weird twist, and then they didn't really get into. I felt like they could have did it if they did it a different way. Maybe it would have been better. Like if they
Hmm.
showed the spirit that was haunting them from the beginning, or if the spirit was tied to the house, or but it seemed like a bunch of bad stuff just followed the family everywhere they went. So you couldn't really tell like if they were cursed or if they just had bad luck or whatever the case may be.
Hmm. Yeah, it sounds almost a little cringeworthy-ish. Interesting
Yeah,
storyline, but maybe not as well done.
yeah. I mean, I felt like if they were gonna go that route as far as like for it being kind of like a horror thriller type of thing, it could have been more organized, or they could have placed it in the beginning, or
Hmm.
more explanation of why that family was being haunted,
Okay.
or just going through bad situation after bad situation. And then the racial aspect was a little too much at times. So
Hmm.
I think they could have toned that down some.
Gotcha.
And then that's pretty much it. I mean, I got some other shows I'm trying to watch. Going through Bucky and Falcon on Disney Plus. That series
Hmm.
is good. It's not as
Is it
good
good?
as the. It's not. I wouldn't say is as good as the WandaVision one, but it's definitely good though. The episodes go by quick. It's nothing. It's not. It's not. You don't got to be like a huge Marvel fan to get the stuff that's going on. Um,
Hmm.
this kind of takes place after Endgame, where there's no more Captain America. Everybody thinks he's dead, and then people are kind of going back into the old ways of how it was before. People ghosted for 5 years. So
Hmm.
um, it's interesting. I like the series,
Yeah.
but just like I said before, I don't know where this leads to.
Right.
Like I can't see the end game for it.
Gotcha.
As far as for these two Marvel heroes.
All right. Did you watch The Nevers yet?
No, not yet. That's what I'm watching up. That's on what's up next for me to watch. I know.
Okay. Yeah, The Nevers and the other one there, Mayor of Easttown, with Kate Winslet. That one actually looks pretty good, and one of those, kind of right up my alley. The about a murder and investigation, and uncovering a lot of unknowns. So that one looks pretty good. I don't actually know much about The Nevers. What's that one? Any idea what that one's about?
Not sure. I know they send me HBO Max send me an email. They always send me emails with like, oh, new show started. Make sure you check it out. And then like the thing they sent me is like it's like an animated like email, and then
Hmm.
so it says it's like a Victorian era London
Oh yeah,
like
yeah,
group of people, mostly
yep.
women with like newfound supernatural abilities. Pretty much facing evil. But I know normally those shows, HBO normally does good with those shows, with those
Hmm.
like Harry Potterish type of
Yeah,
shows. So it's gonna be interesting to see. I don't know if they're gonna have the whole full season on there or if it's a week by week one.
and I was gonna say I continued watching City on a Hill. Second season. So far so good. They're really kind of getting deep into some of the corruption that's been going on. In the FBI slash Boston Police Department. For the
Hmm.
last however many years, kind of cracking down on. They were basically setting up these younger black kids to arrest them and then try to flip them into informants, but they're cracking down on that, keeping them, people with with no records out of jail. So it's been pretty good though.
Yeah, I got to catch up on that. There's a few other documentaries that came out that I heard were good, so I know I got to check those out.
Which ones? I know they had the one. I was actually getting my hair cut today, and they had one about the art heist, the Gardner Museum.
Oh no, I didn't see that one. I know there was one where people were telling me about where like they go through all the stuff from like all the different historical events in America,
Hmm.
and pretty much debunking how what we were told is not true, um, as far as like Bigfoot, Christmas, stuff like that. And then I know there's one about the sea, about like how like pretty much how the Earth is changing, stuff about the Earth, stuff like that. There was a few other ones. There's one about Magna. Somebody told me to watch. So there's a bunch of them. I got to find them and go through them.
Nice.
I'll send you that list. Then I think that's pretty much it. I know the Oscars is coming up.
Mm-hmm.
And then I know they put out some of the canceled shows that are canceled. They have Black Lightning, Supergirl. I think Supernatural is getting canceled. I think this is the last season. Debris, Nurses, Superstore, Bless the Hearts, Filthy Rich, Last Man Standing, Next. I really haven't watched any of those shows, so I don't have any feeling about that. But
I haven't watched any of them either.
so yeah, and I just know they're getting ready for the Oscars. It's probably in about 2 weeks. I think the 25th.
25th.
So,
yeah.
but I feel like it hasn't been many noteworthy stuff that I saw that was nominated that you gotta I gotta go check that out, before the show. So,
Nah, me either.
and then that's pretty much it, man.
All right.
I want to thank y'all for rocking out with your boy Rich, JD, and Tom here on the Sports Sidebar Podcast. Give y'all something to ride out on.